Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's the weekly Red Wing breakdown. A little late to it this week, but we're still going to get out in time before the game tonight. Not the greatest week for the Red Wings. Honestly, you should have got 0 points this week. If anything, you ended up getting 1 point with an OT loss to the Capitals. Outside that, again, you probably should not have even made the OT that game. You got lucky, but you lost 3-1, lost 4-3, lost 5-0. You're probably going to lose that Avalanche game after that they lost to Montreal 11-3. They were not going to let another game slip away from them, especially like that. So you got the belt handed to you. It's what happens. It's what happens when, you face a really good team who just had a really bad loss. Problem is you play them again tonight in Colorado. I don't know how good our chances are to even get a point the rest of this week that we have. We only got 2 games. I don't know where our chances are. It might be the beginning of the downfall, depending on how pessimistic you are. Because usually there is a bad, how it's happened the past few years, a bad back-to-back has cost us a good rest of the season, and we're about to have a back-to-back against a really good team that might hand us the belt again tonight. And we'll see what ends up happening. Standings wise, though, you're still sitting in a good spot. For the most part, you are still second place. Problem is Boston. If they would have won last night, it would have been a little bit more tricky. But Boston's now at 68 points, which is a game behind you. And Buffalo is sitting at 3 points. So there's a chance by the end of this week, and going into the Olympics, you are sitting at as the last wild card spot and not atop of the division like you have been for majority of the year. And again, anything can happen. Tampa, they just been on a roll. They won that Stadium Series game last night. Came back. I thought Boston was going to win it. I mean, it wasn't what you would have wanted because the division would have been closer. But I thought they were going to win it, keep Tampa back a little bit. They didn't. Tampa came back after a goalie fight of all things, and they ended up winning that same series game, hopping 2 more points ahead. Again, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But when you fully look at it, standings wise, if I can actually get to it without the computer messing up, standings wise, it's not really easy for the Red Wings when you look at it. They are still have played the most games. The only team that they're not behind in the Atlantic is Boston, who have played the same amount of games as us, but Tampa still has 3 games on hand, which is a total of 6 points. You add 6 points, they win all 3 of those games. You're sitting at 80 points with 10 points back. Issue right now with the Wings is they're on a 3-game losing streak as well, which is all this week. Their goal differential has dropped to 0, which is basically bottom 3 in our division, which isn't great. So they got to figure it out. They got to figure out fast. The trade deadline is going to be coming up. The Olympic break will help you get a little bit healthier, get you some rest. Hopefully, nothing happens to Larkin, Raymond, or Sider during the Olympics. And again, it's just keeping pace because right now the Metropolitan is kind of falling back a little bit, so you might be able to stay ahead of Columbus and Washington. They're at 61 points. They would be the only team to knock you out of a wild card spot. So as long as you can stay ahead of them, you're good. But Columbus is hot. They've won 5 in a row. And again, these are your issues. You got to try and figure out where you're exactly sitting at so that we don't run into these issues. Well, like I was saying, the schedule for this week is Avalanche and Mammoth. Right now, I wouldn't peg you to beat the Avalanche, but maybe if you can get lucky, something can happen. And then you got Utah, which I believe if I were to press this game, and please don't just take me to Utah, I did take me to Utah. Okay. Which I believe if we go to that game, you should probably are somewhat favored in the game against Utah. I don't know exactly. But let's go look at everything that we can go look at. Their top point scorer is Keller, 50 points so far this year. A little less than Raymond on both goals and assists. Their top scorer is Gunther. He has 24 goals, 5 power play. Again, Evanson is the only injury we really got right now. The ESPN doesn't really do too much with the hockey standpoint, so I can't even fully give you stuff. But I would assume that we're semi-favored in this game. Utah. Utah has won 2 out of their last 5. While we have only won 1 out of our last 5. We're on a bad stretch right now. Utah is fighting for that playoff spot in the West. Hopefully, again, we can kind of get ahead of them. We lost to the Mammoth last time 4-1 at home. We'll see what ends up happening this time. Yeah, it's kind of going to be up in the air fully what could end up happening with this game. It'll be interesting, though. Both 9 o'clock games. After that, we go on our Olympic break. Most of the team is not going to the Olympics besides your top 3 guys outside the brinket. So we'll see what ends up happening. Well, I will do an Olympic video, kind of go over the Olympic hockey stuff. Just because, why not? We can keep an eye on it. It's only about a week or about 10 days worth of hockey. All games are earlier in the day, so you probably will not get updates on the Olympics fully until the next day because I work at 1 o'clock. So games are usually at about, USA is going to be usually at about 3 o'clock. I go to work at 1. So kind of up in the air on whether or not we will fully get a lot of those videos in. But we at least have 1 week in them. I think I could do a playoff one and then a gold medal game, bronze gold medal game, because I do not work necessarily. The game probably will actually end. I might have time to go talk about the gold medal game after it happens, depending on how we're feeling. But either way, hopefully you have a good week for the Red Wings. We'll see where we're sitting by the end of this week. Hopefully we can win the next 2, put us in a better spot in the standings coming back in February, late February. And we kind of can just relax because when we come back, it's going to be terrible. You have to be ready when you come back because you have a tough schedule starting in March. Between Vegas, Florida, New Jersey, Florida, Tampa, Dallas, Calgary will be your break, and then Montreal. Boston's not going to be easy. Ottawa is kind of trying to fight back, and then Buffalo fighting to come back. And really the whole month of March is an issue, which is our usual downfall. March is always an issue, and this March will be an issue. You're playing top tier teams the whole entire month. You're not going to get a break until practically April, where you're playing a Philly team, New York Rangers, who have been struggling, Minnesota, who's pretty decent, Columbus, who is fighting for that playoff spot, Philadelphia who is struggling somewhat this year, New Jersey, who's good, and then you're going to end the year with at Tampa and at Florida, which again might not be the greatest for you. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But I'll end it here. If you like what you see, you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think overall with the Red Wings. Is this beginning of the downfall? Is it not? Do we just have a little hiccup? We'll see what ends up happening. But until next time, see everybody.